Well, today it's time for an old Spence update. This is my 300D turbo diesel wonder that I drug home. Jerson convinced me to fix it up. I still don't know why I chose to do that. But we're still working on this thing almost 2 years later. And today I want to report on a conversion I'm doing on the engine. Now, about 2 months ago, I did a video saying I was going to convert this car to run on a 2-tank vegetable oil conversion system. And I put up a couple videos, and people were saying, well, you should do every little detail about this conversion. I will be doing some conversion kits. I decided maybe we'll try to do this, just a couple of conversion kits, one for a single tank conversion, one for a dual tank conversion. But today, I thought I'd just show you what I've done. We're almost ready to start this up on the single tank conversion. I did that first, and then I'm going to go ahead and convert it to truly running on 2 tanks. Why am I doing this? Well, there's 2 reasons I'm doing this. One, just for the fun of it. This has been very fun to come up with some modern components that can make this conversion. The other thing is for, what would you call it? There's an old joke running around. I don't know if some of you have heard this. It's just, some people say, well, at the end of time, there'll be 2 things remaining: cockroaches and W123 diesels. Maybe this is my end of time vehicle when there's no fuel available. You know, I could pass this on to my children. They can run this on vegetable oil. They can run it on peanut oil. They can run it on engine oil. It's kind of dirty. They can run it on hydraulic fluid, all kinds of things. I'll show you what I've done here. I think you'll find it interesting. I know some of you 300D owners will say, oh, wow, something looks really different in this engine compartment. I kind of divide these conversions down into 3 main components. Number 1 being the filter assembly. Number 2 is all the hose routing and valving. And then number 3 is the electrical upgrades that you'll need to make to power some of these accessories. You're going to need a better filter. I know some people run the factory filter with SVO, but I found you run a efficient, bigger filter, it's going to mean less filter changes and more reliability out in the open road. You notice I had to custom make this bracket assembly. That's going to be included in the kit. You want a big enough element that it's going to filter used vegetable oil. You can see down here I've got this bowl, and there's a drain down there. So if you do happen to pick up any water, it'll settle out in the bottom, and you can reach down there and drain that out. This filter is very easy to change on the open road. It's a removable filter element. If you have a strap wrench, you just get a hold of this and spin this off. You want to have some rags because it's going to be drippy and kind of messy. So you can design the mount around your particular engine. Now you can see I've got lots of hoses going on here, so let's talk about all this hose routing. For a single tank system, since I'm running both diesel and vegetable oil out of the same tank, I go ahead and close off the factory filter. And what I've done here is I've put a looped hose here to close that off. I've made some other modifications of filter, so now this filter is not involved in the system. We have return fuel coming back from the fuel injectors into this fitting, and then it's going down to this valve. This valve is key. Now, if you're running diesel fuel, you want the return fuel to go right back to the factory tank, just like it is from the factory. And you notice this lever here is pointing back towards the tank. That means I'm set up to run diesel. Now, if I'm running vegetable oil, I'm going to open the hood and turn this valve to this direction. Watch what happens to the return fuel. Comes out of this hose down here, enters this valve, and it comes back. Look, it comes back and it goes right back in to this fuel warmer. Now we'll be talking about this a little bit more later when we talk about the electrical. And then you can see it exits here and goes into the pre-filter and then right down to the lift pump. But notice the lift pump on a single tank conversion is going to come right out of the lift pump and directly into the injection pump. It's not coming up to this filter. We have eliminated this filter from the system. Here you can see the fuel coming from the tank enters this auxiliary pump, goes up to the big filter, and then it exits the filter and goes into the fuel heat booster that I've created right here. I know this whole thing looks kind of complex. If you're saying, well, how could I ever do that? I will explain this in much more detail in the instructions that will come with my kits. So the third major component on these conversions is the electrical side of things. And this can be very scary to some people. They don't know automotive electrical and they're going, oh, how am I going to do this? But what I chose to do is I chose to use a circuit boss. And what's nice about this is the relays are incorporated with fuses here. Now, there's 6 relays, and I know those of you who understand automotive electrical wiring are going to say, Kent, why do you have 6 relays and 6 fuses? Well, for a single tank conversion, I'm only driving 2 components. So I'm only using 2 relays and 2 fuses on this circuit bus. But when I go to a dual tank, I'm going to use 3 and possibly 4 relays. And the reason I'm using this unit is the way it fits in a W123. You can't buy a 4 relay unit that's as nice as this one. So there's going to be a couple extra relays that you can use to drive other components like accessory fog lights. Now if I open this up, you can see I've installed a ground stud right here that I've got a very secure ground. So all these electrical components I've got going here have all been grounded through to one solid ground. I don't want any ground problems on the system. And currently, I'm using 2 switches, 2 relays. This one is going to turn on the pump. Now here's the important thing. When you do these conversions, you have to make sure your switches are keyed to the ignition of the car, because you want to make sure when you turn the car off that everything goes off. If you don't do that and you forget to turn the boost heater off right here, hey, you're going to drain your battery. So I've got to go into the car, turn the key on. Now I'll demonstrate. So let's say I'm just running on diesel. Well, the only thing I'm going to be running if I'm running on diesel is this boost pump. Now this boost pump, believe it or not, can really help an old tire diesel because it gives enough extra pressure to your old lift pump and your old injection pump to kind of give the engine a little extra boost. So listen as I turn the pump on. You see it's just a pulsating pump, very low pressure. So if I'm running vegetable oil, you're going to have to open the hood. Now some of you say, well, Kent, why don't you do all these valves automatically and have switches inside? Well, I believe in reliability. You realize if you put switches and you put solenoid valving and they fail, you could actually quit on the open road. It's not that much work to open the hood, convert. Let's say I'm running on, I've already done this, but let's say I've been running on diesel fuel. So I get some veggie, put it in the tank. It's okay to mix it. You can mix it whatever race you want. You can put veggie and diesel together. The engine's going to run fine. I'm going to switch this over to return loop fuel. Now I'm going to turn on the boost heater. The boost heater is wired through this switch, through a thermostat. So if it gets too hot, it'll shut off. Now it's just starting to get warm. So you can always check to see if your boost heater is working by turning it on, waiting about 5 minutes, and it should be getting warm right here at the base. So let's say you leave these switches on. You forget to turn them off when you come home and park the car. Well, as soon as you turn the key off in the car, everything goes off. So I have a special attachment and full instructions on how to wire this into the fuse box so you can have keyed power to your circuit box here. And I'll have complete instructions on doing all 3. We'll talk filter and filter mounting, hose routing and valving, and electrical. As soon as we do this, this is coming back in the shop. I'm going to make some revisions, not going to be much, and we're going to convert this to the 2-tank system that I originally wanted, because if you're running an old diesel on vegetable oil and you're going to park it for a few weeks, you need to purge it. You need to purge the injection pump and the injectors of the old vegetable oil with diesel. That's why I'm using a 2-tank system. I will not be driving old Spence that much.